G'day, everybody. Have you ever wondered why somewhere in the Bible it will say one thing and in another area it will say something, well, contradictory? And today we are going to go through, we have a whole list of contradictions. Sorry, I'll just get rid of that one. 439 of these contradictions. I'm going through one a week, and I am amazed at how much of a Bible study this is. And secretly, it's just not about the contradictions. It's about the message behind it and why they say it and why it's different. And today, I will have an interesting one. Was David alone when asking for the holy bread at Nob? This is such an interesting one. This is an atheist list that we're going to go through, and this is the one question that we're going to go through today. My name is Craig, and this is Morning Star Quest, where we are journeying through the Bible, one question at a time, and with my friend Cosmo. Say g'day, Cosmo.
G'day, everyone. I'm Cosmo. Craig, this question about David and the holy bread is a real head-scratcher. Was he alone, or was someone with him? Let's unravel this mystery together.
All right, so with this, we have, on this atheist list, they have described that there are two verses that are opposing to each other. So we've got Samuel 21, verse 1, and Matthew 12, 3 to 4. Can you just go over these and what's the difference? Or, go through them so we can know what the difference is.
Sure thing, Craig. In 1 Samuel 21:1, it describes David going to Nob alone and asking Ahimelech the priest for bread. However, in Matthew 12:3 to 4, Jesus refers to this event, mentioning how David entered the house of God and ate the consecrated bread, which was not lawful for him or his companions to eat. The difference here is whether David was truly alone or had companions with him.
All right, I think we need to just give a bit of a backstory. So, what is even happening here? So, basically, we all know that King David, but at this point in time, he is not king. At this time, should I say, is King Saul. So he's the one who is king. And in fact, I think King Saul is trying to hunt down David and trying to kill him because he knows that David is going to basically be king, or he could be king, or if he doesn't do anything, then he will no longer be King Saul. So is that all that I need to put there? Is that, and is priest Ahimelech, I can't even say it today, is this where the Ark of the Covenant is, or am I got that wrong?
You've set the scene well, Craig. At this point, David is... Ahimelech is the priest David encounters in Nob. Regarding the Ark of the Covenant, it was actually at Kiriath Jearim during this time, not with Ahimelech in Nob. Ahimelech is serving in Nob, where the tabernacle is located.
Right, okay. All right, so I got that a little bit wrong, but that's okay because we need to just get a bit of backstory. So David and his men are on the run, but they're very hungry. And so David goes to Ahimelech. Oh, I can't even say it. Is there an easy way to say that? So he goes there to get food for his men and himself. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. David goes to Ahimelech, seeking food for himself and his men. Ahimelech is initially startled by David's visit, but eventually provides him with the consecrated bread, also known as the showbread, which was reserved for priests.
Right, so this was, and the showbread was basically cooked every day, is that right? And there would be 12 loaves for each of the tribes, because there was 12 tribes, and every day or every morning it would be replaced. Is that right? And then the old bread taken away would be then for the priests and the priests only.
Exactly, Craig. The showbread was baked fresh and placed on the table in the tabernacle every week. with
Okay.
12 loaves representing the 12 tribes of Israel. The old bread, which had been on display, was then eaten by the priests. It was considered holy and ordinarily only for them.
All right. So it was once a week. Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was once a day. Is that correct?
Yes, it was actually once a week. The bread was replaced every Sabbath, and the old bread was then consumed by the priests. This weekly ritual symbolized a continual offering to God from the 12 tribes of Israel.
And Ahimelech was actually a little bit startled at first because he would never have heard of anyone else but the priests eating this bread, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Ahimelech was surprised and probably concerned because it was highly unusual for anyone other than priests to eat the consecrated bread. It was a sacred tradition, and breaking it was not taken lightly.
And so in Matthew 12:3-4, Jesus is actually talking about this actual event. And he is not saying, well, really, he is making the point, I would say, that we have religious traditions and, normally these religious traditions shall not be broken because it will upset God. But in this instance, it is saying that people are more important than religious rules, and we should look after people.
Exactly, Craig. In Matthew 12:3-4, Jesus references this event to illustrate that human need can take precedence over ceremonial law. He emphasizes that compassion and mercy are at the heart of God's law, reminding us that the well-being of people is paramount.
And in Matthew 12, Jesus also says that there was a group of men with David. But in Samuel, it kind of, does it really say that there weren't any other people? Because if David went there and said, okay, here's these 12 loaves, and they're not small, they're huge things from what I gather, round and this, can't even see it, but, they're quite decent size. He's not going to eat 12 of those by himself. He could have just had one, but he needs all 12. So he definitely not alone. Is there anything in Samuel, does it specifically say that there's no one else with him?
In 1 Samuel 21, it doesn't explicitly state that David was alone. The passage focuses on his interaction with Ahimelech, who is wary and questions why David is there. David explains that he is on a mission and has men with him, although they are not present at that moment. This suggests that he wasn't alone, even if his companions weren't directly mentioned in the conversation with Ahimelech.
And the wording in Samuel 21, I feel like is if like a business owner, I'm trying to think of someone other than Elon Musk. But anyway, if Elon Musk went somewhere and said, I am here, yet he's got his whole entourage with him and the whole company of Tesla and, all the rest, you would say, well, he's not alone. He's got all of these people with him. But having said that, in the news, it would say Elon Musk himself, in brackets, went to do this by himself. So is this just a wording thing that's just how language is?
That's a great analogy, Craig. It's common in historical and biblical texts to focus on the main character's actions, even if they have a group with them. The emphasis is on David's interaction with Ahimelech, so the narrative centers on him, much like a news story might highlight the actions of a prominent figure while not detailing their entire entourage. It doesn't necessarily mean he was alone. It's more about the focus of the narrative.
So the answer to the question, was David alone when asking for the holy bread at Nob, No, he wasn't. Even this is, I don't know why this one is, well, I don't know where, oh my goodness, this whole contradiction list, and you can see that there's a whole lot here, and I'm going to go through every single one because I want to find one that is a contradiction. So far, not so. Was David alone? No. Even if he went into Ahimelech, oh yeah, I said it right this time. Even if he went in there, into that room by himself, talking about his men outside, is he still alone? No. Is he asking for the 12 loaves, which are, I mean, what size are these loaves?
The loaves of showbread were likely substantial, as they were meant to be a significant offering and sustenance for the priests. While we don't know their exact size, they were likely quite large, considering they had to be made from fine flour and were meant to last for a week. So if David requested all 12 loaves, it strongly suggests he had companions who needed food as well.
And he talked about his companions, and he said that my men will also need to eat this. So he's not alone. He's not alone. So is he alone? No. But the surprising thing is this whole story has got nothing to do with how many people are there with David and Ahimelech, and what Jesus is saying is that all of them ate. It's because of this. Well, the whole point is Jesus is saying is that the rules of the church should not overturn the rules of helping people. I mean, God himself says, love God with everything that you have and love others as you would yourself. So love God, yes, but don't put rules in the way. Don't put things in front of people so they can't get to God, so they can't be nourished. So this is definitely not a contradiction, and I want to go through a whole heap more because are they contradictions? Well, let's see. So go do something awesome for God, and I'll catch you in that next one. Go on, I'll catch you.